back in 2000 when I bought a compact Peugeot 306. Okay, I was still at uni, my parents paid for it. Anyway, euro wasn't even a thing, but let's say 2 years later, a 15,000 euro compact car would be considered expensive. And today, there's a handful of Superminis that you can buy for 20 grand or less. Now, I found 9. Curious? Let's go then. Interestingly enough, my Peugeot 306, a compact car by late 20th century standards, was smaller than the Peugeot 208 is today. And incidentally, the Peugeot 208 today is too expensive to be on this list. Interesting times. Good news is that there are still Superminis you can buy for 20,000 euro or less, and some are not total poverty spec. If you know a car that's cheaper, but I haven't listed it here, it's either because it's cheaper in your specific market, and I'm curious to know where is that, or I don't have a review of this model on my channel, which is less likely but may happen. For this listicle, I'm using prices listed on car makers' websites in Germany. Prices are from the end of March 2023. If in a few months you find one of these cheaper, I suggest you shut up and buy it. And if it's already more expensive, I know, adulting sucks. In alphabetical order, we start off with Citroën C3. It starts at a reasonable 14,940 euro in base U trim. There is not much you can do with it, but you're saving 5 grand. Or you can still get the C series mid trim for 18,890 euro, or even the range topping Shine for 19,840 euro. Where's the catch? You can only choose the 83 horsepower PureTech motor. Anything else and you're over the budget. Still, you have 3 trims and some options to choose from, which is more than can be said about some of the competitors. The suspension is good, the seats are soft, there's decent space in the back and a big enough boot. If you don't want to go over the budget, I'd really stick with the base trim and just pick a few options. You've got a big enough buffer, which you don't get with the mid or top trim. Next on the list is Dacia. No surprise there, since the Sandero starts at 11,300 euro, and even if you go for the Sandero Stepway Extreme Plus, you still have almost 2 grand to spend on options, if there are any left. Factory installed LPG starts at 18,050 euro, 400 euro more if you want a turbo petrol without autogas. Paint and wheels and you're all set. However, I wonder whether the Sandero is really worth this much. At rock bottom price, it's easier to turn a blind eye to uncomfortable seats, no height adjustment for the seatbelt, inferior ride and handling, and low safety rating, even if we blame it on the lack of modern driver aids. I wouldn't spend this much money on a Dacia, but, you know, it's your call. Next on the list are Hyundai i20 and Kia Rio. Normally, I'd say Kia's cheaper, go with Kia, but there's a little bit more to it. Kia starts at 15,590 euro, while Hyundai starts at 17,665 euro. Both cars can be ordered with a 1.2-liter normally aspirated petrol engine or a 1-liter turbo, but the Hyundai can also have a 1-liter turbo mild hybrid, which may be important because of emissions in some areas. The downside is that the Hyundai i20 below 20 grand is only in base spec, regardless of the engine, while you can have the Rio in second trim with a more powerful engine. If there's a repair kit and no mild hybrid, the boot volume is 352 liters. Back in the day, this would be a decent size compact boot, or maybe even a small estate. Rear space is nothing to write home about, but both cars are comfortable enough in the front. The next contender is the Nissan Micra. It's been ages since I've seen one, let alone driven one. Anyway, not much choice here, but at 19,790 euro it fits the budget. Boot volume is 300 liters, backrest split 40-60, but there is no flat loading area. With the rear seats folded, there's just above 1,000 liters of cargo space. There's decent legroom in the back, though there's a small tunnel in the middle, and headroom is less than stellar. There is no armrest, no door pockets, and rear windows come with cranks. Perhaps this is why I see so few Micras out and about. Like I said in the beginning, Peugeot 208 is too expensive to make it on the list, so we're left with its Stellantis sibling, the Opel Corsa. The boot has about 310 liters capacity VDA, including the spare wheel well. It's pretty cramped in the back. In the front, the layout is simple, and I suppose that's a good thing. In the Corsa, it's easier to mask low spec than in the flamboyant 208. At €18,280 for the 1.2-litre 75 horsepower engine variant in edition trim, you still have some money left for comfort and style packs, which include a leather-ish steering wheel, power windows front and rear, armrest with storage, black roof, and tinted rear windows. Renault Clio is next. It starts at €18,250, just a bit cheaper than the Corsa, but you can go up to the second trim below 20 grand. I praised the new Clio in my review. The 5th generation is a good upgrade from the 4th, which I didn't really like. In the base trim, you can at least get a 90 horsepower engine instead of the 65 horsepower. In second trim, it's 65 horsepower and nothing else below 20 grand. Not much to choose from in terms of options within the budget. The Corsa seems to be better priced. And despite what Renault says, the Clio boot is not 391 liters. I measured it and it's 300 liters tops. Skoda Fabia. You have 3 trims to choose from depending on the engine variant. If 66 or 80 horsepower is enough for you, then there is even mid-spec ambition version for €18,250 or €18,950 respectively. 95 horsepower pulls you down into the second, active trim, no DSG or 6-speed manual transmission below 20k though. I have a Skoda Fabia review where I go in depth with the engine and trim variants, link in the description, a lot of car for the money, even taking Dacia Sandero into account. Last but not least is the Suzuki Swift. It's one of the smallest cars on this list. This is one of the few cars which you can actually get in the highest spec, under 20k. Although CVT and all-wheel drive are also available, these exceed the €20,000 budget. A decent car with an engine that just doesn't take much fuel, no matter how hard you push it. I really miss Supermini estates once offered by the French and by VW Group brands. Instead, we have B crossovers, which these days cost at least 25 grand. If you're interested in B crossovers or any other models which you think I should make a list about, let me know in the comment section below. Last Friday of the month is the listicle day on my channel. Maybe your idea will be the subject of one of the future videos. If you like my sarcastic, down-to-earth and possibly mildly amusing car reviews, join me every Friday at 3 PM Central European Time, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.